This is an overview of the Word Power vocabulary system. It can be found on a variety of speech-generating devices. Today I'll be using the 60 location basic on the Touch Chat app on an iPad, but the structure of Word Power is similar across devices and the number of locations you are using. Word Power uses high-frequency core words on the main page and follows simple sentence structure from left to right. It uses the traditional Fitzgerald key color coding, where people are yellow, verbs are green, prepositions and articles are blue, and nouns are orange. Over on the left, we have people pronouns. To get more people, you would press the people folder, and you'll notice that there's arrows going forward and back on the corner. When we open the folder, you'll notice that there are more pronoun options, lots of space to add custom people, and this blue arrow will take you to a second page for further customization if needed. I'll arrow back, and you'll also notice that there are pre-made pages for school people and jobs or occupations at the bottom. If I select a button, like
girl,
it will say the word girl and add it to the message window. You'll notice that it also self-closes, and that's what the arrow forward and backwards indicated. I'll open the folder again. If you want to talk about more than one person, you would choose the green lock page, and then you can say girl, boy, sister, and it won't self-close. And then you'll need to use the home button, which always takes you back to the main page. The Backspace button on the message window deletes one word at a time, but if you press and hold it, it will clear the whole message window, or there's a clear button right here on the main page. Next, we'll look at verbs. They're all in green, or action words, and the preverbs are over here, a slightly lighter color. If the verb you're looking for is in here, you would open up the actions folder. And you'll notice that there are lots of verbs in there, mainly alphabetical, and there are a few more preverbs here. For more verbs, you would press the blue arrow for a second page, and I'll press the other blue arrow to go back. And you'll also notice that there is an actions A to Z. This will filter the actions that all begin with the same sound. For example, if I press P, it will only bring up P action words, so pack and paint and pass and pay. Between the actions and the people folder is the questions folder. This has WH questions and lots of little words to make interrogative reversal questions such as Are you going?
Are you going?
You will notice also that there's an ABC folder. This will take you to a keyboard for spelling words and numbers. The keyboard has word prediction, so if I type S, you'll have some S words show up in a purple word prediction boxes. C, and I can select the word school. On this page there is also the Find Word feature. If I tap that, a message window pops up. I tap in the text box, spell a word I'm looking for, press find, and it will show me where that word is stored on the device. So in this case, the word farm, I would go to the places folder and find the word farm, or there's a second place it's stored with groups, pets, animal houses, and farm. Then I would cancel to get out of that and go back to home. Word Power also has some built-in grammar prediction. For example, when I select the pronoun I, watch what happens to the word is.
I.
It now becomes am, and when I press am, watch what happens to the verbs.
Am.
They add the ing ending.
Going. I am going.
I am going.
I am going.
The Extra Words folder contains prepositions, articles, and indefinite pronouns. So when you select every, it will bring a pop-up of body day 1. So I can press 1 for everyone. And if I were to select any, again it brings up a pop-up with the words in the same, so body day 1, and I could say anyone. The social folder has comments, interjections, and is a good place to add social messages that you need to get out quickly, like,
How's it going?
how's it going? The Personal and Questions folder takes you to a page where you can ask questions
Where do you live?
and answer them,
I live at.
and that page will need some customizations. From this page, you can either go back using the back in the toolbar or the back arrow. And to get to the main page, though, you could just press the home button to get all the way back. The Places folder is nicely organized by color. So at the top we have buildings, then we have home words, outside words, and school words. There's also a second page to allow for customization. The Time word folder has times of day, days of the week, months, and other time words. The Groups folder is where you find most of the nouns. For example, clothes takes you to a clothing page with a second page with more clothing, and there's also a link to a jewelry page at the top. The Phonics page brings up a phonics keyboard, so it will say the names of the letters being pressed. And this one is the short vowel, so it will say. There's a link to the long vowel page, so now it will say
A,
and.
E,
The Describe folder contains adjectives and adverbs with basic concepts and opposites on the left and feelings over on the right. There is an arrow for a second page and a third page. I'll arrow back. And because there are so many, it also has the Describe A to Z filter. So if I select P, let's see what P describe words there are. There's perfect and poor and pretty and proud. There's also a link for the Colors folder from the main page for easy access to these words.
Brown.
Word Power has some built-in efficiencies. For example, if I press the Eat button on the main page, it automatically brings up the food folder.
Pizza.
When I select My from the main page,
My.
it brings up Turn.
Turn.
My favorite.
Favorite.
If I were to select the A button,
A.
it could be a problem, about, a little, a lot, a long time. Also from the main page, you can select the verb form you want. Also from the main page, you can select the verb tense you want. So if I press Help,
Help.
it brings up the option to say helps, helping, and helped. And if I say Go,
Go.
over here you get the same option of goes, going, and went, so it gives you the irregular past verb tense. This is the basic outline of Word Power. It's designed so you can say a lot just from this main page, such as
I want to go to the
and I'll go in places,
farm. I want to go to the farm.
or
Can you call me? Can you call me?
and
I like it. I like it. I like it.
and that's it.
For more information, visit the Augmentative Communication section of our website at tvcc.on.ca. If you have any further questions, call us at 519-685-8700 extension 53478 or email us at acs@tvcc.on.ca.